Today, I found a folder on my shelf, and being the highly productive person that I am, I immediately pulled it out to avoid doing anything useful other than that. As I went through it, I was overcome with this very weird, unsettling feeling, something I did not really have a name for. All I could do was cling to all these little pieces of paper and these trinkets that I collected some 5 years ago, wanting to hold on to them as tightly as I could. It was almost midnight and I was sitting in my room with my brain just not wanting to shut down, and all I could do was spiral. And in doing so, that became a catalyst for this long chain of overlapping thoughts of the past, the present, and the impending future. The folder consisted of small trinkets, nothing extraordinary, and hence I hadn't expected it to make me feel something so strong, almost overpowering. It was probably a coping mechanism. I mean, what else does one do when the present feels too confusing and overwhelming, and the future is bound by uncertainty? In all of that, I think the past, at least for me, seems like the safest sanctuary. Needless to say, this uncertainty was definitely exasperated by the fact that I completely am cut off with the outside world, by my total lack of social interaction. And yes, disclaimer, this is a ballad of a tragically lonely teenager. So I figured, why not project my existential dread onto random people on the internet? And who knows, someone might stumble upon this by accident, and I'll probably look up at this video later, years later, and die of cringe. But oh well, the things I do to put myself in uncomfortable situations. So yes, coming back to the folder and the midnight thoughts that followed, I saw myself stuck at a crossroad. On one side is what many would call my childhood, my yesteryears, I guess. And the other is, well, the whole concept of growing up, making it in the real world. The concept of adulthood. And I just aimlessly stand there, and I'm completely paralyzed with this unsettling uncertainty about it all. I mean, you see, I'm the type of person who will pause a movie or stop reading a book right in the middle, go online to ruin the ending for myself, to know exactly who ends up with who, what happens, who dies, how it ends, yada yada yada, and so on. And then continuing with it. And so it goes without saying that I have my fair share of control issues regarding the future, especially right now where everything just seems to be falling apart. The stress of getting into college, of somehow proving that I'm ready for the real world, as if life isn't eventful on its own. Don't get me wrong, I mean, I am grateful for life, for all I've been blessed with, but occasionally I hear these echoes of expectations, voices of my own more than others, the just thought of leaving home, the fear of leaving my loved ones, and walking away from the only safety net I've ever known, is this terrifying fear of instability, and the current geopolitical situation does not help much either, accompanied by a constant echoing chorus of what ifs. What if I don't get the grades? What if I choose the wrong path? What if I don't get into my dream university? What if the folks at school hate me? Which they probably already do, but whatever. What if I mess up? What if I disappoint my folks, and most of all, myself? Or what if I get exactly what I want and still end up as a miserable hag, a Karen that everyone hates? It's not that I'm not excited for the future. Honestly, it intrigues me a lot. The endless possibilities, the adventures yet to come, the chance to figure out who I am, what I can do, the people I will meet, the experiences I'll have, the new places I will go to. There's a very real part of me that is very thrilled for all of that. And I try to be rational, explaining to myself that I know that things will end up being okay, for they always have turned out just fine in the past, and will perhaps continue to happen this way for the long run as well. People figure it out all the time, and but that does not help much, does it? I mean, knowing that you're you'll be surviving the jump does not make it any less scary to take the plunge. Standing on the edge is still scary, even though you know that you're gonna survive it. And maybe it's just the fear of getting older, or maybe I'm only good at being young. Who knows? It's strange what the mind does when it wanders into the abyss, where the sheer weight of these what-ifs and the demand of making it in the real world becomes way too exhausting, that the brain looks for an escape from reality. For me, and probably most of the universe, that is exactly what the past is. It's the ultimate safe space to hang out. It's a room where the lights are already on, nothing changes, the climax is already written, everything is constant. And that's why I think we build these little shrines of the past, because looking backwards is safer, for the dots always seem to connect that way. The past does not ask anything of you. It does not require a perfectly planned out future, because the future to some extent is already known. It does not need you to be the go-getter you portray yourself to be to the outer world, and it definitely does not demand stepping out of your comfort zone into the unknown. You can definitely visit it all the time and lie in its lap for a while without having to pretend that you have your life all together. So, as I stand at night, looking out of my window, revisiting the past, looking at all those little artifacts in that folder, I had a realization. I realized that it's all a massive paradox, isn't it? No matter how I actually felt the past when I was experiencing it, when I was actually experiencing the good old days, I probably did not see them the way I do right now. At that point in time too, a part of me was perhaps completely immersed in the fear of tomorrow, terrified of what the future held back then, and what would happen when the bubble popped, when the adventure ended, and when I went back to the mundane life I had once known. The future, as it turned out just fine. Looking back now, I sometimes wish I could get a do-over and actually experience the things I left untouched in my fear of tomorrow, to just be completely present in those moments instead of spending them worrying about what comes next. Now, although, thinking rationally again, as much as I want sometimes to relive the past, I would not want to experience a few things again. Some of those phases were definitely better left in the rearview mirror. Plus, if I'm being completely honest, replaying the same exact moments might eventually get a bit boring, I admit that. It's a weird feeling, right? Desperately wanting to go back, but knowing you don't actually want to stay in the past forever. So, coming back, sitting in my room right now, looking at all these things, realizing that my childhood is giving me its gradual farewell, it has this very specific, bittersweet kind of feeling. Something that I now know the Germans call Sehnsucht. I hope I said that right. It's almost like standing still, watching the sun set slowly on this entire phase of your life, knowing you cannot stop the night from coming, and all you can do basically is to just stand there and stare into the horizon and only wait for the sun to rise again on the new phase of your life. Yeah, I think I should be a philosopher. Okay, remember how I said I pause movies to see how they end before continuing to watch them? I desperately want that for my life right now. I want to see the future in advance just to know everything turns out fine, just to get that validation. But at the same time, looking at the folder especially, I just want to go back. I just want to rewind the tape. I want to stop the train. I want to get off and I want to go home again. Home to those childhood years, to summers at my grandma's house, to playing Lava Monster all the time, to making over-the-top plays where I was always overacting, to just being young, to be a child. I know I'm still young. I mean, it's not that I'm on my deathbed right now and I'm an old hag, but the weight of growing is just a bit different, especially at this crossroad. Probably because maybe I'm just good at being young. I don't want to see my parents grow. It's terrifying to realize that I'm just one generation's length away from fighting life out on my own, that the train does not stop. it just keeps moving forward whether you're ready or not. Looking at the folder was like reading a book I've already read just to nitpick the finer details that I missed later on. I know how the chapter ends, what I needed to know all along, and because I know, I can survive it, and I can finally just relive the moment again without the anxiety that was clouding it the first time. So now I'm back in my room with my thoughts to where I am in life, in this waiting room of the present, trying to navigate through this transition. And it's a very confusing feeling, honestly. I call the present a waiting room, but the thing is, I know it should not be one. It's the present. They often say that life is here and life is now, and the present is meant for action. It's meant to be lived and not to be treated like a lobby or a waiting room where you just sit around waiting for real life to begin, only to reminisce about it later. But it's incredibly hard to snap out of that mindset when you are trying to make it through the absolute contrast of giving it your all, proving that you're ready for the real world, all while trying to find yourself, or at least not lose yourself in the process. Alas, the only thing I can count on is the fact that once in a while when it's good, it will feel like it should, and my loved ones are all still around, and everything's safe and sound. And so maybe the only way to deal with this crossroad is just blind, foolish acceptance. I mean, what else does one do? Whatever happens, happens. That's what they say, que sera, sera. What will be, will be. Today I reminisce about the past while still letting a part of my mind completely panic over the future. It's this constant exhausting cycle of looking backwards because perhaps staring forward is just too much work. It's too blinding. There's an odd comfort in the past, there's no doubt about it, but the fact is you cannot live there forever. And the funniest part is, chances are that 10 years from now, I will look back at this very time, me sitting in my room at midnight, feeling completely lost again in another waiting room, making another pathetic rant, or perhaps rewatching this one. I'll definitely cringe at it 100%, or maybe I will remember it just as fondly as I did the folder. Maybe this is just one of the many instances of yearning yet to come, a lifelong cycle of outgrowing the present and missing it later. Oh well, I think that's it. That's the end of my existential dread for one night. I want to thank everybody who actually sat through this rant. I'm extremely grateful. These are just thoughts I had one day while I was going through this folder, and it just left me up all night. I could not sleep. I was so immersed in these thoughts. And that made me realize that a lot of people in the world probably also have these thoughts, especially people around my age who are trying to navigate through this transition themselves, or people who are older who are just reminiscing about their past. Whatever it may be, I hope I could put words to whatever you guys are feeling. Maybe you guys could relate to this, and I guess you liked it. Also, I hope you enjoyed the John Mayer references. They were very intentional. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you for making it through. It means a lot. And bye. Thanks.